I want to talk to you today about some of the coolest tricks that I think are available in the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, but also one of the coolest and most efficient tricks in Adobe Illustrator. But you might notice that I'm in InDesign right now, and the reason that I want to start with this is to start introducing you to the Adobe Creative Cloud. You pull up your Creative Cloud libraries, shortened as CC libraries and sometimes just libraries, by going to Window and CC libraries. What I have loaded up here are logos for my fake company, Bryson Food. And I've also thrown in a few color swatches. Now, what's really unique about this is that when you use your Creative Cloud to store your files, it's referenced across and you use them throughout your files. Let's say, for example, this is part of a brand guide, but maybe we have a flyer somewhere else, and maybe we have a poster somewhere else. And all of a sudden, in our fake hypothetical world, our name has changed from Bryson Food Systems to just Bryson Food. I don't really want to have to go into every single file and guess which ones I've updated or not, or have to open them and then update my logo, resave them. It's pretty tedious. So a really cool trick that Libraries lets us do is double click on the file in your Creative Cloud library. And it's hard to see because this is the white version, but you can see it opened up the file that's saved up to the Adobe Cloud. Now what I can do is get rid of that word system. I can drag this back over, tighten up my artboard a little bit. I'm doing a Command S to save that file. Now when we go back into, you can see the change happened right over here in our Adobe Library panel. But when we go into InDesign, boom, it's already fixed for us automatically. And if we're using this file in anything else, in a poster, in a brochure, it's already updated. As soon as we go to open that file, it's going to read that, hey man, you changed it up here on the cloud. We'll change it here for you also. That way you don't forget about little logos that might be hidden in the footer or somewhere in a graphic. It's so smart. It's brilliant, and it will save you so much time. It works the same for your colors. Let's say that all of a sudden the new CEO of your company hates orange. You can open this bad boy up, change it to bright green, and anywhere that you had been using that orange will get changed to bright green. So, really powerful system, really cool. Highly encourage you to go ahead and use that. The next step that's related to this is the concept of artboards. So in Adobe Illustrator, instead of creating things on just one big 8.5 by 11 file, they allow us to create artboards. It's in your toolbar down here near the bottom. When you click on it, you'll notice little gray boxes come up in the corners of each of these, around each of these panels or artboards. This is where, if you click on it, now you can start adjusting the size. You could do a lot of things, and up here along the top is where you get into the nitty gritty. If you hit this button here, you can get into a lot of details. You can start adding bleeds to your files. You can change it from landscape to portrait. But the most important thing right now that I want to talk about is naming your artboard. As a default, you can see on this one, it says Artboard 5. This one just says Artboard 6. So if we were to export this file, if we were to go to File, Export, Export As, and save this grouping as PNG files or JPEG files, it would save this as Bryson Foods _ Artboard 6. That's not helpful for anybody. That means I have to have a preview in order to know what the heck it actually is. So we name our artboards. This one's going to be stacked, and since it's the white version, it is for dark backgrounds. We're going to use that version on dark backgrounds. This colorful version is stacked, and it will be used on light colored backgrounds. And you can see I've already named my other artboards. I've already named this top one. I've already named this one. cool thing we do now, so first thing, I put it over in my Adobe library. I create a library. If you ever want to make a new one, if you're making your own brand, you click on this little hamburger up in the upper right corner, say create a new library. Very cool. You can collaborate, you can invite people. So for me on my design team, my communications team, I have collaborators on some of my libraries. So for example, I have a library of AgriLife, Texas A&M AgriLife logos that I share with my entire team, so that if anything changes, if all of a sudden the Texas A&M College of Agriculture and Life Sciences decides that they need a comma or to take out a comma in their logo, if I change it here in this file, then the people on my team, it will update for them automatically as well. And anytime they use this logo in the future, it will also be changed. And I don't even have to tell them that it changed. Very cool. Back to our other logo and artboards. Not confuse you. We're going to keep this library open. And I'm going to finally go to File, Export, so I can show you the magic of artboards. I have already created a PNG folder, and I want to make sure my format is PNG. And I want to click Use Artboards. This is very important. If you don't select this, it will export a file that just includes everything in front of you on your screen. That's fine. Sometimes that's useful. But for this right now, we want to use artboards and we want to be exporting all of them. Sometimes if you're exporting, say, a JPG file, JPEG, then you maybe only want this first artboard and the third artboard. So you would say arrange and you would say 1,3. That's not what we want right now. We want all of them. So I'm going to say export. I want this to be high resolution. And I definitely want that transparent background. I don't want white boxes around my logo when I go to slap this bad boy into a presentation or on a poster. I'm going to say OK. And now if we check out our export, you can see it exported it with a transparent background, looking fabulous. This one is to be used on a dark background. This one is to be used on a light background, and it's named as such. And there you go. I didn't have to go in and rename all of my files after exporting them or after saving them. This works for all of your file types. I encourage you to use it. It's brilliant. It will save you a ton of time. And it's best practices. It's a good skill to get used to using. So, hope that's helpful. Have a good one.